We got ourselves Team Russia with Vital. We got Krager in here as a Fury Warrior. Lakkerr. Lacker would be the Russian. Lacker. Lack. We'll call him Lack. We got Nomova in here. And we got Romastia Rog. Romance Rogue? Is that what that's supposed to be? Going up versus Nopukan. It's actually going to be Yuki Kazep. Yuki versus Lack getting the breath. It's a trinket for Yuki though. Polymorphin on that Shadow Step. That is the stealthiest bear I've ever seen. Does he get them the ring? He does not get the ring though. Yuki is going to be able to go for a little bit of damage. Oh! Lack just threw everything at him. Looks like Lack is not lacking in the damage department, boys, but he's going up versus Fortune with a leg sweep to follow. Lack is going to trinket out with a big of a breath. We got us Pokin in the back playing Fury Warrior. We got Snoopy as a Feral. We got Tixi as a, well, I want to say Fire Mage. Most of these guys are mage just fire anyway. Maybe Arcane. That's going to be big damage by Fortune with a big Rod Den Slappers. This thing's a procker for quite a lot of damage. Lack is going to have to go for big combustion. Try to save until he goes for big damage. It's going to be Cauterize coming out. Icebox immediately breaks it right after into Poly onto Fortune. Does he trinket this? Does have a wall trick inside of it. And Lack actually blinked at the right second as Fortune tried to go for a roll. This man's perception of what Fortune does is just on the ball, trying to land a polymer. Does he land it? He needs a defensive right now. Otherwise, he's done for. Those images could proc at Azeroth. I think he might be done. Shield available. Does get a health stone. Perfect. Still has a defensive. Not out of the fight just yet, but Fortune is looking for blood. Does roll, and Fortune actually has a roll cancel macro. So he rolls, and then he can stop it. He doesn't have to roll all the way. That's a serious man, is that monk. It looks like, yeah, lack the survivability. Let's be honest. Vital landing a stone onto Fortune immediately. He's going to try to see if he can just wombo combo him with a fear. Fortune was expecting another duel. These Russian boys are here to win, though. It is allowed by the rules of Firephone 1. You are more than welcome to just start blasting the enemy. Drop it down the Infernal next to Fortune. Gonna be a Karma immediately. Fortune is trying to deny damage to Vital. Fear is trying to make a play. That's gonna be Fear. It's gonna break thanks to the Infernal. Mortal Coil Steel comes out as a Touch of Death comes in onto the Warlock. Perfect opportunity for Fortune to get the most amount of damage out. It looks like he's gonna pour it at the very last second. Touch of Death is gonna tick onto Vital, do a bit of damage. But Fortune did not want the Chaosball to go through. He had damage. He had a Karma, but he did not want that Chaosball to go through. Destrigath onto Vital. He does have 2 pets up, so they do help split some of the damage of the Destrigath into a succubus immediately onto Fortune. Try to go for first aid before he gets a Chaosball up and running. Does he have anything to follow? Immolate right after is going to be Lexu by Fortune into a trinket by Vital, trying to land himself a Fist of Fury. Fear to follow. Does get interrupted on Fear. Chaosballs are going to come out. Does go for a shortest roll ever around Vital, though, trying to avoid the Chaosball into a boopity bop ring. Chaosball's still flying for Vital either way. You can't stop those Chaosballs. They are going to fly. Does have Diffuse Magic. Still taking huge hits from those Chaosballs, even with Diffuse. That's going to be Succubus CC. Finally, Vital gets some CC without trinket. But Fortune does get to room on a Fist of Fury. Almost got a Fear off on that Fist of Fury. That Zuen is just melting him. Actually tried to see if he could get a Fear onto Zuen. Fortune just needs one more hit. One more proc into Vital. Vital just needs to keep him at bay as best possible. In cap, Vital could be going down here into one more kick. Does get to finish it off with a jab to follow. And Roma, whoa. Roma, my man, I like the fact that you're running out and excited, but please stay in your room until the Warlock dies, for sure, right? Wait until he's fully dead. The Roma came out a little bit early. I don't want to derail the duel. But just in the future, my man, alrighty? Full sap, blind. He actually went for like full classic World of Warcraft go, right? Full stun lock, blind, sap, and it's gonna go for another stun lock. Does he have enough damage? Does have in bike. Maybe? Karma at the very end. Fortune actually landed the Karma. Having to VO5s. And Roma is not going to be able to sit in stealth. That Karma should do damage to him. Actually, no, it's not. Shadowy Duel into Fortune. Try to get a little bit extra value of Shadow Dances. He's actually out of dances. Shortest cheap shot ever into Fortune. In cap to follow. Touch of Death onto Roma. No trinket available. Does Fortune get to one-shot this man? Big Fist of Fury. Destrigath everything. I think Roma's down. Oh, he did 80% of his health in a single setup with all the trinkets, all that damage, and still had a Touch of Death ready. Unless the rogue had a vanish at the end, there's nothing you could do. actually gave him zero escape out of it. Zero way out of that situation. Zero chance. Amazing. That Destro got... He must have gotten procs too or something, right? Like, corruption procs? Like, stat procs? That was a lot of damage. It looks like Krager is going to be next versus Fortune. He did give Fortune the ability to honor duel, get up to full health. That is going to kind of meet him in a field of battle. No bows necessary. Just needs to get right back into combat immediately. Stormbolt on Fortune. Fortune got them big. Rod Den. Slappers doing work. Krager, what kind of corruptions are you running? You have corruptions. What kind of corruptions are you rolling, though? 4% dampening right now for both of the boys as we hit the 5-minute mark. This time coming out into the Warrior. Let's just look at just kind of outrun Fortune for a moment or two. Into Alexu. Does he go for the trinket? Krager goes for no trinkets, dude. Did he use a Warlock Hellstone? He came back with health a little bit. Or maybe he just wasn't losing health at all. Gonna get a short charge off of one of the pets. Is playing Stormbolt, so he's not gonna be able to get a lot of charges back to back. Blade Storm from the Ring of Boopity Bop, and Fortune already repositions to the pillar down the center of the arena. Big leap on a Krager. Does he get a setup? That's gonna be a Stormbolt into Fortune. Through the pillar. Fortune does choose to trinket it. So that's going to be no more trinkets for Fortune for about a minute 30. Trying to get a Fist of Fury lined up onto Krager. He's just kiting him around, dropping it slow on the guy with a piercing shadow, just walking out of it for the most part. Krager took a little bit of damage, going to get himself a charge, heal off of Fortune. He's the one whittling Fortune down little by little. Fortune trying to see if he can bail out. No charge available, no leap for the Warrior. Zerker raging out of that incap. And Fortune trying to catch up a little bit on health. Only 10% dampening, and Fortune is already kind of... I don't want to say struggling, but he is having a hard time getting himself up and running back to 100%. Topping himself off, I guess is the best way to put it. Stormbolt, does Krager have the damage here ready? He's trying to go for a slow. He didn't have the big enrage available. Into a disarm. Wishy trinkets into Alexu. Fortune try to see if he can go for more rolls around the corner. Krager, big leap into a charge connects. That's going to be DC with 20 more bones as the fear comes in for a Krager. Fortune got a karma up and running, but can Krager turn it around? Does get a bloodthirst from Fortune as he's trying to get behind the pillar. Yep, from DC. Can we get a hashtag DC chat for the 20 bones? Boys. 20 bones on top of the 55 already. Goddamn, DC. My man, thank you so much, dude. Boys, hashtag DC for being a goddamn generous, beautiful butterfly. Krager getting hit with that cap. No way out of it. Did get a Stormbolt off of Fortune. Meeting up together with that charge. Fist Fury denying him the damage. Krager still has plenty of fighting spirit in him. Plenty of health as we're hitting that 17 minutes, 30 seconds, 16% dampener. Boys, Fortune reposition yet again. Every time he gets Krager around the corner into like their starting area, starting room, he could just roll away towards this pillar, and you can use that pillar. That's a lot of kiting by Fortune. Touchy death into Krager. Does Krager fear death? I feel like Krager is a pretty reckless warrior. Big Destrugath coming down into Krager. I thought it was actually a damage before the touchy death. Thought it was going to be it, but that was with touchy death damage. So Krager took a big hit. Trinket went up for Fortune. And Krager has perfect opportunity for him to try to see if he can recover a little bit of health. No enraged regeneration just yet. Fortune so far has been on the run from this monstrous warrior. Can he somehow lock him down? Is going to be able to get a bloodthirst off of one of the images. Big enraged regeneration finally coming out for Krager. Does get a slow onto Fortune. Karma available for the monk if he needs it. And Krager trying to recover as much health at 21% dampening. Did a little bit good. Got crucibles for self heals if needed. But Fortune so far been able to just outrun this guy. Stormbolt onto the monk. Does Krager get the big damage here? He kind of just trying to see if he can walk by Fortune, do damage without really having to stand there and keep auto-attacking him. Karma does get forced out. Krager, does he have a fear or anything? Bloodthirst off of Fortune just to maintain movement speed into a disarm. The warrior is not really going to have much to respond with. Could be a Fist of Fury, but Fortune right here. In cap onto Krager. Does he have the leg sweep? Krager still has the trinket. Could trinket here. Does trinket it. Fist of Fury should be expected at this point. Does he have the fear for that Fist of Fury? Actually, piercing shouts. Fortune, Stormbolt to follow. No trinket available for 30 seconds. Try to see if he can cover a little bit of health. Is doing a bit of damage. That's going to be a port for Fortune. If only Krager had the leap or double charge available, he'd be able to stop the mobility of Fortune, be able to charge him as he's trying to roll a dragon kick out of there. Fortune still on the run. Try to min-max the damage as well as healing. Has wall available for Krager. Is going to get images up and running. Fist of Fury just going to waddle out of it. Does she get to follow Krager? I think he was a Warlock Hellstone there to survive. He braced his hand in the air for something. Not sure what. Into a disarm onto Krager. Still trying to see if he can run away from the weapons while he can't attack him. Is going to get bloodthirst here and then. Needs to get a charge heal. In cap to follow. Zerker rage out of it. Into a slow into Fortune. That's going to be Fortune taking him out at the very end. Nomova is going to be able to finally stop this monk's killing spree as we hit the 10-minute mark. That was a long duel. I feel like Krager actually played the best build he could for Fortune. Maybe he could have went for Disarm too. But there's nothing else he could essentially do, right? Taxi gonna get a poly integrated pyro getting interrupted as per expected. Try to see if he can just night elf his way out of there. Root onto the pet Cataclysm. He's gonna try to see if he can force the mage from behind the pillar. Polymorph is gonna land. Oh, Trinket Reflect. That Greater Pyro is gonna jump back to Taxi. Taxi! Are you aware? It looks like he took no damage. I guess his shield was enough to hold him across. Let's get him over. Try to see if he can land up a Casbolt. Gonna be a Trinket out of Taxi though, with Combustion. Unable to really get the big damage rolling onto Namova. That was your 100% crit and extra Mastery Burn. But it's gonna be down for now. Taxi's gonna have to play a little bit of a longer game. Deciding to... I think he was trying to see if he could juke the pet. He did get interrupted on Frost. So honestly, it should be fine. Maybe? Possibly? Oh, he just saw appearance of Namova. Look at that. Here's the Auric with the Greater Pyros. And so is this guy. He saw his appearance. He didn't steal his health though. If only he could steal his health, that would be a better choice. So far, Namova not wishing to push in on Taxi. Not wishing to push in at all. Just letting him sit in the back. Get melted by the pet little by little. Maybe get hit by an Immolate from a Cataclysm. Or a Come Flag for that matter. It's gonna get a blink. I mean, Taxi, you guy just melted. He didn't barely touch you. He hit you with Come Flag from time to time. Missing the Meteor into the room. And Taxi barely any health left. Unless he can somehow get himself a full reset. Trying to go for food. Not happening. I mean, again, it just comes out. Smacks him with a Come Flag. Probably gonna be not cauterized either. Oh, you're just dead. Going from a Fortune duel where it was just so close between him and Krager, back and forth. And then you have Momova and Taxi. It's just Taxi running and Momova just hit him with a spell or two once in a while. At 44% dampening, what can you do really? Gonna be Pokken coming in as an Outlaw Rogue. Oh, nice Mog, nice Tabard. Succubus CC coming out immediately now. Mova trying to see if he might be able to get himself a good setup onto Pokken. Casbolts to follow into an Infernal. Pokken is gonna take a lot of damage here. And he's just gonna get rooted for a moment with a Come Flag. Fear coming out. He's gonna get a Cloak of Shadows. Does interrupt Namova into Fear. But he's gonna gateway out of the bike coming in onto the Warlock. Big slappers available for Pokken with a Mortal Coil to follow. Does the Rogue have a Trinket? He doesn't have a way to stop that Casbolt. Super low on health and just down he goes. Just melted. Snoopy is gonna be up next versus Namova. He did just use Infernal, so essentially Mova is out of offenses, but still plenty of defenses. We are at 50% dampening though, so Namova is not gonna get any kind of constant healing. So any damage Snoopy does to Namova is final. It's permanent. Does Namova want to swap a pet too? I mean, I guess against Snoopy you don't really have to. Snoopy does try to Destrigath him, but the pet does walk in to split the Destrigath damage. Fear onto Snoopy and does get at least one Casbolt. Snoopy's Fear Pathing actually get him into the room, hugging the pillar. That was actually well done. Snoopy leaping in there for big damage. Mortal Coil onto the Feral. No way out of this though. No Trinket available. Mova might be able to get a bit of a setup. Wall coming out for Snoopy. Not going to take much of a Casbolt damage. Big bike as he does a run by onto the Warlock and down he goes. Ferritin coming in with 4 kills, 7 million damage. Oh my god. The damage this man did was nuts. Honestly, nuts. Alrighty, boys. Let's get another one going, yeah?